social media for entrepreneurs, and we're going to be taking you on a number of different lessons and a number of different routes down this over the next 5 weeks. So this is purely an introduction lesson. So welcome to everybody to the new series. For those of you who don't know, we just finished a series on how to tell stories in your business. And if you need some more information about that, then please go to our expertise forum, and the links to all the webinars are there, or on our social media and or our blog. So we've got them linked across there. So this webinar will be recorded and available later and shared on Facebook and our blog as well as we go down this series. So let's have a look at what we've got for us. So what is social media? Social media is an interesting term that a lot of people kind of use for a number of things, and it's almost a collective umbrella term that we have. And social media is very different things if you're a young teenager at school, or whether you're a high school student, a varsity student, a non-working person, or an entrepreneur. It means completely different things and stuff like that. So it's an umbrella term that includes literally blogs, intranets, wikis, social networking sites, news forums, and photograph sharing sites and videos as well. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that's anything that you interact with other people, I suppose, could be called the social media. Or what I like to call is a really cool set of toys that you can use to reach people in all places, to inform, educate, and sell to, and waste a bunch of time with. And I think that's the thing there. Social media is definitely a big time thief, and something that needs to be managed. And I was just speaking to a psychiatrist yesterday, and they're saying that there's actually now a medical condition called addictive personalities to social media and your cell phone. So you can actually get treated for addiction to things like Facebook and Twitter and your phone, and you just look at what people are doing in and around that, and you can see quite clearly with that. So yeah, hello to everybody from around the country. We've got some of our clients on board, and we've got a number of other people. Please say hi in our forum. So hi to Claire in PE, and to Joan, and who else have we got there? We got Carl, and other people are logging on. So yeah, come say hi and join in. If you've got any questions to ask, please just use that little forum there as well. Ask any questions. We'll have a time now. We'll go through those at the end, and we'll be able to answer anything with that either now during the webinar or afterwards. So I'm going to keep this to half an hour as promised, because I know you've got work to do and things to do this afternoon, and so have I. So let's go through. Let's kind of unpack a little bit with that. Is that a lot of people ask me, well, why do we need social media? Why do we need to get into this thing? We had one client who refused to even have a Gmail account because he thought everything was a conspiracy, and everything, they were out to get you, and they were going to go and hunt you down and stuff. And yes, they do. Once you got a Google account and once you got a Facebook account, is that everything you do online is tracked and monitored and recorded, and every message you send on WhatsApp is recorded in the cloud, and every photo that you send via social media is recorded, not only on your phone and the person you send it to, but also in the cloud somewhere. So you've got to be very careful with that. And yes, it is a conspiracy, but it's a useful conspiracy to utilize and to work with your organization. So we've looked at it a number of things. It's a great way to expose your brand to current and future clients. So it's a good marketing platform, and it's a really great way to build that brand confidence and to have that ongoing conversation. So it's a good place to have regular conversations with people that you don't get to meet one-on-one, FaceTime, in workshops and stuff, and you're able to accumulate and grow that brand footprint. And we'll speak a lot about the brand footprint and the effectiveness of that footprint as well. Social media is also very good for brand reputation and managing that brand reputation. It's also a very good place for your clients to complain. And if you go to sites like Hello Peter and Facebook, Twitter, it's the number one place where people go and complain. We're going to keep on recording. It's a great place to carry on going, and social media works two ways. It's a great place for the customers to complain, but it's also a great place for you to then manage those complaints if you have any complaints and any issues that arise there. So if you're in the hospitality industry or anywhere where you're in the service industry and people are complaining about you, at least you can manage that. And we might fit in some reputation management rules a little bit later in one of our online sessions that we have with that. There's also a really good place. Our social media platforms are really great for keeping the launches going, any new launches, competitions, surveys, referrals, quizzes, and marketing things like webinars. So that's what we're about with that. Excuse me. Okay, so back we go. Social media. How do we unpack that? What we're going to do with that is we're going to be looking over the next 4 weeks. We're going to unpack specific platforms. So we're going to zoom down and we're going to look at LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is probably one of the most underrated social media platforms. A lot of people don't even classify it as a social media. But I can tell you it's our number one platform that we use. And it's a number one referral platform, and it works very, very well. And I'll teach you a whole bunch of really cool tips to utilize and leverage that to make your business and you into something extraordinary. So I'm looking forward to that. That's next week, Wednesday, at 12 o'clock here. We're then going to kind of divert a little bit, and we're going to look at blogging, the power of blogging and cross-blogging and multi-blogging, and what are the rules of blogging and how to interact with your website and get that out. And I'll show you a little bit of that in a moment. We're then going to get into Facebook, and a lot of people think Facebook is dead and Facebook is out and all that. So we're going to show you, well, I still rate Facebook as the cheapest online platform to market with, and probably, apart from email, the most effective. So I'm a very big Facebook fan, and we know quite a lot of secrets that we're going to share with you about that. So that's the following Wednesday. And then at the last Wednesday of the month of September, we're going to be looking at YouTube. And I was fortunate enough to be nominated by YouTube to go on their YouTube Academy course a couple of years ago. So I'm a graduate of YouTube. Not something I've ever said out aloud before, but I've got a little piece of paper to say that I'm a qualified YouTube, I think it was a video creator manager. So we'll talk a little bit about channels and playlists and how to effectively utilize, and we'll share some of the secrets that we learned while we were on that workshop with them, and we'll get that. And we could carry on with social media every week for the next year and still not cover all the platforms. But if you've got any questions about the kind of social media issues that we're not covering, you just send me an email and we can either include them in there. We can always add on. Doesn't mean that we've got to finish at the end of the month. We can have another one with kind of other questions, other platforms, and we can touch on a bunch of other things. As you can see, I've left off Twitter and all the other platforms that you might deem important. But these are the ones we feel that are vitally important for the running of a small entrepreneurial organization. So whether you're a one-man show, one-person show, or whether you're from a mid-sized organization, everything we say over the next 5 weeks is going to become critical and very important to listen to and make notes. And these things are recorded, so if you're on with us at the moment, then that's great. You can come back and view this anytime. You've got lifetime access to this video, and feel free to share it. We don't charge for this. We're not charging for our wisdom. We purely going out there and we want to do some education on the whole thing. Okay, so let's look at sales funnel now, and this is an interesting thing. So this is a little extract from our marketing survey. The key thing about a sales funnel is that it's got multi functions that you need to do. And an effective sales funnel kind of looks like that, where you're feeding clients in or contacts in the top. We've got a very fixed procedure here that we use for creating our sales funnel, and we go through a number of steps. We go through capture, categorize, clarify, convert, and conversations. And where social media comes into it is everywhere. Okay, the social media covers the green arrows at the stop. They're part of the capture, they're part of the categorize, they're part of the clarification, they're part of the convert, and they're definitely part of that conversation part. So social media needs to play a vital role in the creation and the development of all your sales processes within that. And we'll share some of the secrets, a little bit about what we do, and we've got some magic apps that we'll share with you as well. I like to do everything in social media for free. There's paid versions on a lot of these options, and there's a lot of other agencies that will sell you a huge amount of services that you can actually do for yourself for free if you know how. And I'm here to kind of share with that. So if you're from an agency that does kind of social media marketing and you're charging your clients like tens of thousands of rands, I'm sorry for that, but a lot of what you're doing there should be available for free, and you need to specialize to add stuff over and above that. And we've spoken to a few agencies, and we've helped a couple of guys and said, you can't sell the basics to people that people should be doing for themselves. They should be then to be able to activate and raise your game up, because there's so much more that you can do with that. So just on that, this is not an introduction to social media. We're not going to show you how to set up a Facebook account or load your profile photo or anything. We're going to show you how to leverage what you've got already to get that. So if you're a little new to the social media, do another course before each one, so at least you know a little bit about what we're speaking about. Okay, so let's have a look at these. Let's unpack the data flow. So this is a very kind of a high level summary of what your social media strategy diagram could look like or should look like. So you got your website and blog, and you're linking in that with YouTube. This is the outflow of data from your blog. You're sending stuff out to your fan page on Facebook and on Twitter, and then from that they then get sent out to your Facebook profile, LinkedIn, and other. And I put other there with all the Instagram, Snapchats, Pinterest, etc., and all those platforms. YouTube can be substituted for one of the other video platforms as well, but I like YouTube because it's owned by Google, and Google is critical in maintaining that online profile and building that account detail that is so important to creating that. So what you want to do is part of your strategy is you want to create information on your website. You want to create information on your blog. And so from there, you send that out to the media out there. So you want to push that data into all the different platforms with that. And the key thing is here, you don't necessarily want to have to replicate and do that. And it's also saying that you can also post directly onto your Facebook and on your all the other platforms. But the key thing is you've got to have that consistent message coming from your website out across it. So you want to replicate your blog on your fan page and replicate that on your thing and on LinkedIn. If you go to our blog, you'll see there's copies of our blog articles every time, and they go to Facebook, they go to LinkedIn, they go to Twitter. Anything we do on YouTube is replicated across that, because there's that consistent message, because you don't know where the people are. And what you want to do is you want to send out that chum in the water. You want to bait the water. And then what you want to do is you want to return that, and people are then coming back to you to get that done. So you have the inflow of interest. So you're sending data out, and you then attracting people back. So they're clicking on the link on your Facebook page, which will then bring them back to the blog. So it's inbound marketing and creating that flow of interest back in there. Why is that so important? Well, simple rule. is that you are only allowed to legally and morally and ethically able to sell on the platforms that you own. All right, so you can only convert people on a platform that you own, and you do not own Facebook, you do not own Twitter, you do not own YouTube. So what you've got to do, you've got to chum those areas like you do with fish, and you then attract people back to your website. And once they're on the website, then you can do that conversion, and you can get people to sell, sign up to your newsletter, sell them products on the shop, and get them to sign up with workshops, etc., and things. So you've got to have that things there. If you start selling, obviously, stuff straight on Facebook, straight on LinkedIn, try it on LinkedIn, you'll see how long it lasts. Literally within hours, they're going to chop you off. They'll erase that. You are not allowed to sell on places that you don't own. Now, yes, you can rent retail on Facebook. We'll talk about that when we do the Facebook account. So I can go rent an advert on Facebook and convert people there, and I can have an online Facebook shop, but I don't own Facebook the same way I own my website. On my website, I can unashamedly market to you because you've come into my shop. And it's exactly the same as walking through a shopping mall. When you're in the public area, the people in the shops are not allowed to come and market to you. They can invite you into the store, they can stand there at the door, they can yell, they can hand out flyers to you, but as soon as you go into the store, as soon as you cross over that threshold, then they have the full right to sell and market to you because you are now on their space that they own and they rent. Make sense? Okay, so unpacking that's critical, and it's a kind of a rule that a lot of people get wrong, and they try sell and they dilute their brand over all the different platforms, and it's very hard to follow up leads. It's very hard to find out where people are working, and then you got different lists and you got all that sort of stuff there. So vital to sort of get there with that. Okay, I think I'm making sense with it, and we can sort of unpack and get that right. Okay, so what are we going to do? 6th of September, LinkedIn, 13th of September, web and blogs, and we'll do a whole bunch of interesting stuff there. I'm looking forward to the 20th of September with Facebook, and we're going to get that, and hopefully they won't change Facebook too much until then because we're already making notes. It's one of the hardest platforms to teach on because I promise you the night before you can do all your slides and screenshots, and when you put it up live there, it's all changed in the morning. So very, very difficult platform to train with, but some useful stuff. The nice thing I like about Facebook is they actually listen to their clients. They listen to the users. So I've put through a few ideas that have been implemented, and obviously if I'm thinking about it, thousands of others are, but they do listen to your ideas. They've listened to the complaints they had about privacy and about hijacking and all that sort of stuff that's happened there, and they are improving it. They are listening and making enhancements to that. And then we'll finish off the month on YouTube, and that's a kind of a speciality. We do a lot of videos. We've got our own video studio here in the office, and I spend quite a lot of time in front of the camera doing my thing for creating marketing videos, training videos, and education and informative videos. So that's kind of where we are with that. So just kind of understanding where we're going, how that's going to work. If you've got any kind of requests or anything like that that you need to chat to me about, my name is Bruce Wade, and you can get me at bruce@emsolutions.co.za. I'm super keen to engage. If you've got any specific questions or specific things that you'd like to add, you found a clever tool or you found a clever app. I found a new thing yesterday, in fact, day before, where you can now add quizzes onto your Facebook page. So they've had them in kind of not so nice format, and we found a really nice one. And some of you might be here because you would have done our quiz on our fan page. And if you haven't, go have a look at it. Go to the EM Solutions page on Facebook. Have a look. There's a little quiz that says, how savvy are you on social media? And what it does, it asks you a number of questions. At the end, it gives you a score, and it's a bit of a marketing thing as well. So we've turned it into a marketing thing. Go look at that. And going into their website, you just create your own account and you can go there, go play, go find out what you can do. And that's really how you learn in social media is going and play. It's very hard to break things. You can always just undo, and if you make mistakes, you just erase it from your wall or the page that you're on. So it's not the end of the world. But we will speaking about the rules of engagement for each of those platforms as we go forward with that. So I'm really looking forward to the next month. We are going to be blogging about it, so you'll get a blog up at the beginning of the week, probably Monday, about the platform. We'll run the webinar on the Wednesday. We'll copy that webinar back onto our blog on the Thursday, and we'll then do a whole lot of other Facebook posts. So we do what we teach, and we're implementing what we expect you to implement. So model what we're doing, go look at that, learn from what we're doing, understand that, and not only just copy us, but then copy and improve on what we're doing, because there's always room for improvement. And we'll show you how to save time. We'll show you how to not go spend hours and hours with that. The rules are 2 hours per platform per day to be effective. And I love saying that, because if you're on 5 different platforms, that's kind of 10 hours a day that you're supposed to be there. But we'll show you how to short circuit that to make sure that you're effectively online and your brand is still going out there without being on there. So yeah, I've always said that it's rather not be on a platform than to be on a platform and not use it. So you got to choose your platforms correctly. Don't just sign up for everything and then find out that you don't have the time or the resources to be able to operate that. Rather close your account and then have an account that's got nothing on it, because that's just bad. And it's like having a shop with empty shelves. Rather take the shelves out and make your shop smaller. It's more effective with that, and we can get that. Okay, so short, sharp and quick webinar this week. I look forward to chatting to you next Wednesday, and we'll get that. I'll just bring the schedule up again. There we go, 6th of September for LinkedIn, and we'll see you. If you're on this webinar already, you'll get the invitation to the next one, and all you got to do is sign up. You can go to our online kind of forum for the expertise, and you can go view all the older ones, and we'll put that post up on Facebook later on this afternoon together with this video, and we can get going. So thank you very much. Enjoy your week. Stay warm, stay dry wherever you are, stay safe, and we will see you back here on Wednesday, the 6th of September. But remember, the blog will be up on Monday. All right, have a good week. Cheers.